Hey there, I'm Mia, and this is Taisha, a six-figure business owner who felt like she was dragging her feet because she thought she was struggling with having a lot of money. Watch what we really uncover was the real root cause of her money barrier.
Really just focusing on, it's really the things that I was keep pushing to the next day, just not getting stuff done, which I know are the things that will really move the needle. So not getting those things done, just really making it mean that pretty much like I'm a loser. Just
That's
like
okay. That's good. So like you made it mean I'm a loser. What else did you make it mean? Like I'm not making the money I want to make because I'm keep moving these things to the next day. So I'm not getting them done. So because of that, that must mean I'm a loser.
I mean, there are days when I'm just like, maybe this is not what I need to be doing. Like, maybe I just need to cut my losses, and I can't even say it. Like go get a job, go back to work. Like, I don't, it's days where I'm just like so in my head that it drives me literally. I mean, it just makes me crazy.
Yes, like, and I want you to hear that word again, like that you said, because this is what I mean by everybody. Like when we don't make decisions, we always leave a back door. So this is what the back door sounds like. So the back door is like, maybe you said something, I just want you to get your words. Maybe I'm not, this isn't meant to be, or I'm not cut out for this. What were your words? Maybe I'm not what?
I'm not cut out for this.
Yes. Okay. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. This is really important. Cut out for this, because these are the words that we're going to process. Each one of these, I'm a loser, I'm not cut out for this. This is what I mean by the back door. And then the beating ourselves up, right? I'm a loser is how, what that pattern is when we catastrophize things so big that we convince ourselves it's too big or too much, so I can't do this. Do you see what that does, everybody? This is making it so big. It's not specific. If it was specific, she would sound like this. When it comes to making $10,000, I'm still not feeling deserving enough. Instead, she goes, I'm a loser. Do you see how overwhelmingly big? So she keeps it so big that it feels like it's permanent, not fixable. This is how the false self keeps grounding the pain. And we're going to clear the rest of it. I just want you guys to see why this pattern is such a big one for her. Any other thing that you say once you see that, oh, I'm not getting things done when it comes to my money and the success I want, I'm not getting it done. Anything else you say of the meaning that you give it when you're focusing on?
I mean, I think that's the bulk of it. Just that I'm not, like, I know that I'm good at it, but it also just, feels like maybe you're not as good as you think, or, something like that. It's just so.
Maybe you're not as good as you think. This is important because these are the things, these are the back doors. Maybe you're not as good as you think. Yeah, exactly. That's another one. Even though you know you're good at it, because can you see, everybody? I know this is the conscious mind. I know that I'm good at it, but then this is the subconscious pattern programming and pain. But maybe then I'm not as good as I think because look, I'm a loser. It's so big. Maybe I'm not really cut out for this, right? I make it so huge and so big that I cannot overcome it. Like it's like somehow it's fixed, right? And it's not. I just want you guys to see how it's not. And then what else, like when it comes to, and if I was successful with money, what's the concern about people? Because it's never really money. So if I was successful, what does it let me off the hook? By making it so big and so much pain, I get to get off the hook about what am I afraid of, like when it comes to people and who specifically in your environment.
Money is never the real problem blocking our wealth. The truth is, money is just an innate object, right? In our country, it's just a green piece of paper. The real problem is the fear of what people think about us having money.
I guess it's still a version of almost like what are people gonna say? But I think for me specifically, like in my family, I love my family so much, but such a judgmental bunch. Just really, I'm the youngest out of in my family, and so I've always kind of just been just like the beat up this kid kind of thing, and they don't say guru, but like she thinks she's. I can't even think of the word that I've heard, but something like that. Let's like so smart, or
the person who's picking on you. And I know like is there many of them? Like is it or one specific person or two specific people in your family?
A lot of it is like that whole smartness thing, but also definitely like don't spend too much money, or don't have too much money.
Right. Don't have too much money, because if you have too much money, what was the implication that means if you have too much money? It means what about you?
Like, I think I'm better than people, or
Right.
snob,
Right.
or something like that.
Then you're going to be better than that. Right. You're going to be a snob. You're going to be better than, you're going to think you're better than others. Yeah.
When people judge us, all judgments are just a form of self-protection, meaning the judger hasn't either processed their own emotions, so therefore they're just throwing shade on it because of their own feelings of insecurity with that subject or idea, or they think it's that they're really doing the right thing, trying to help us to avoid some future pain. So they're trying to protect us from it, when really all judgments are self-projections. They're really more focused about themselves and them looking bad that they didn't warn us.
Anything else that comes to your mind, like when you feel this, like as far as here's what I got, right? You said, I'm the youngest in my family, so I was the girl, I'm the beat up girl. And so inside of that, like my family, when it comes to success and money, like you had like, well, what are people going to say? She thinks she's so smart. Don't spend too much. Don't have too much. Then if you have too much, then you'll think you're better than others, or a snob.
I guess too, like, one of the things kind of has always been like, because I've, even as a kid, like I just always had money, right? Just people used to, anyway, I always had money. So it was always like I had to give people stuff or do stuff for people because I had money. So I had to give it to people. I had to buy people stuff. I had to.
So that's another reason. Like, that's why the sabotaging thing, this is another link to the pain, right? Like if I have money, I have to give it to people, is one of the things you said. You guys feel that anytime, like when we have all this pain linked to, if I have money, then I have to give it to people. Like all the pain of somebody saying you got to share it with your siblings or whatever. Like, where if you make more, somehow like you're the one who has to pay for making more. Like it's not linked to a pleasure, it's linked to a pain. Does that make sense? So what I was saying, Taisha, beyond being the youngest, right? And you labeled yourself, I'm the beat up girl, right? I'm the beat up girl. And then when it comes to money, what are people going to say? And they're going to say things like, she thinks she's so smart, and don't spend too much, and don't have too much, because then if you have too much, you're going to think you're better, like a snob, better than other people, or be a snob. And then in the past, when you had money, you had to give it to people. Like, is it that your family, did your mom or dad go, you got to share it? Or did your siblings just put a lot of pressure on you? Like, why don't you share? Like, tell me a little bit more there. Like, where's the pain coming from? Like, I had to give it to people.
What keeps the wrong problems happening in our lives over and over and over again as blind spots or constraints is simply because we cannot see the unprocessed emotional pain that is in our way. And so what is stopping us is always emotional, not logical. Hence why you will see that she laughed, because when you say it out loud, it sounds so ridiculous about what's really stopping you, which is why I encourage each one of you to say it out loud so that you can begin to process it.
Because I always had money, so they always came to me. What's the label there? What's the pattern there?
Really like all of those things, but like if I when I have money, it's like if somebody's refrigerator goes on the fritz, it's like you gotta help them out, or the light bill is like, it's, can you send them something, or just like always having to give it away, just
Yeah.
and yes, I mean, like, they ask, and also like my mom used to tell me like, oh, your sister has blah blah blah,
Yeah.
you should send her money, or you should
Yeah.
take the kids to Florida with you, just something, just
Always like that. Yeah. So can you feel then when it's kind of like being guilted into decision makings, rather than totally having a decision be of completely your choice from alignment, or your choice of not to do it from alignment as well? Can you feel that? And can you guys also see that what you're going to have to do is, like, inside of those situations, have new go-to ways of being of how do I stay in alignment and not lose my alignment or power when I choose that. I'm not going to be guilted into a decision. I'm only going to make decisions that are in alignment. Again, and this is where I want you guys to feel this. As we clean up this aim, you've got to be, have a new way of being when it comes to your family about them guilting you into giving them money. You have to have a new go-to way of being of how you're going to do that, creating only making decisions out of full alignment of a win-win situation and actually not bailing people out of things that they can change inside of the decision underneath that. Is that making sense? You feel where I'm going with that? Because otherwise we can do all this aim and that will still keep you out of alignment. And we want everything about decisions to be linked to pleasure, right? What I'm aiming for here is every time you make decisions, you're doing it from complete pleasure and alignment. That's how awesome it is. Anything else that you were aim about success and money? What you were focusing on is when it comes to your success and money, I'm not getting things done, which then had you link, all this pain came up, which then had you make it mean I'm a loser. Because that happens, I'm a loser. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. This is the back door that you're leaving open, not making the decision. This is how you catastrophize it. I make it so big so it feels like it's permanent or not resolvable, right? Every problem has a solution. Everything is resolvable. Problems are all resolvable. So if every problem is resolvable, there is no such thing as problems. Just new decisions.
The truth is, every problem has an equal and opposite solution. So consider if that is true, then is there such a thing as problems? This is why struggling in business or life isn't really necessary. And that what is really stopping us is emotional, not logical. And why resistance then that comes up anytime you're feeling any kind of resistance is actually your greatest gift. It's your doorway to your greatest transformation when you know how to process the resistance or constraint that's in your way, in your blind spot. This is also why once you understand how this really works in every different area of life, different context, different situations, circumstance, event, and with different types of people, you're going to come to realize what I have found is that nothing in life is actually to be feared, only understood, cleared, so we can make a new decision.
Okay, so then now that we see that, what else, when it comes to money and success, what else were you concerned about? Well, what are people going to say? In my family, I'm the youngest, so I'm, you identify yourself as I'm the beat up girl. And as that identity, as the beat up girl, then it comes into alignment. Like people think like, what do you think you're so smart? You have money, don't spend too much, don't have too much. Then, people are going to think you're a snob or you're going to be that you're better than others. When other people in the family, make bad decisions, oh, you, Taisha, need to give them more money. You need to have to give it away, and so forth, so that your money is now linked even more. The more pain you have, because the more I make, the more people are going to want it. You see what's happening here? Which is why then that was sabotage. Is there anything else, but now that we've got that you need to tell me before we go into clearing this? Or does that feel complete?
I don't know if this is the place for that, but
Yeah, of course it is.
one of the things like that I struggle with, like in my business, like one of the things, so I talk about building a six-figure business and growing, your business, but I like when I'm doing my business stuff, I really don't even want to talk about the money because I don't want anybody to hear it and be like, oh, you have money.
Yeah. The real way to get over this stuff is by processing your emotions, but then having more experiences where you've linked pleasure to those situations rather than pain. You see, all of a sudden you took something that you used to link pain to, and now you start adding massive pleasure to it. Not only have you processed your emotions, but now you've linked even more pleasure to doing that. It's going to free you from ever thinking that these stories are more important than the truth. Any pain, write it down as like, even if you haven't resolved it yet, that this is on my, what I'm gonna process as, ASAP. Okay, so now I'm just repeating it so it stays in momentum. Nothing I'm experiencing is being caused by anything outside of me. So getting curious, what will you focus on when it comes to success and money? I'm not getting the right things done in the right order. And so that I'm making it mean I'm a loser. That's how you generalize it, make it so big. Maybe I'm just not cut out for this. That's how you leave a back door, which causes you then to never truly make a commitment and a decision. Maybe I'm not as good as I think I am, right? That brings in doubt and hesitation. So inside of that, this comes from you were the youngest of your family and you labeled yourself, I'm the beat up girl. And so when it comes to money and success, what are people going to say? She thinks that she's so smart, don't spend too much, don't have too much. Then you're going to think you're better than other people. You're going to be a snob, being guilted into like, look, you have some, can you give it to this person? You need to help them out. Like really been guilting it. And then as a result of it, all of this pain there has you then further not want to talk about it, right? So the last one is not want to talk about it or share it. That's shame. And that's why people keep it running the pattern, right? Over and over. So now seeing this, what's the truth and what's the lie? First thing about not getting things done. What's the truth and what's the lie? Look up and pull up and out and see what's really happening. What's the lie of not getting things done?
I think that just kind of goes back to what you sent me and what my understanding of it is. The truth that I'm not making decisions.
That's right.
I'm not doing the lie is that I'm not getting stuff done because of these stories. But the truth is that I'm not getting stuff done because I'm not making the decisions and doing the right stuff in the right order.
Right. And the only thing else is also that the truth is because you've linked massive pain to the decision. The reason you don't decide is because of the pain, right? Because if you linked pleasure, you'd make these decisions all day long. I just want you to notice that though. We cannot move in pain. We won't make the right decisions in pain. So the truth is I'm not making these decisions because the stories, I've linked pain in them. And that is why I'm not making the decision. Yes. What's the lie and what's the truth? That you're not cut out for this and that maybe you're not as good as you think you are. What's the lie and what's the truth about both?
Well, both of that's the lie, that I'm not cut out for it, or
Why is that a lie? Why is it a lie? Looking at it in hindsight and big picture, why is that a lie?
Because I am cut out for it, that I am good at it, but also that I do it, right? Like I do it not as well as I should, but I mean, I do get it done.
So the lie is that in saying that statement like that, I give myself no credit and I only will do what I think is under the radar so I don't get too successful. Do you see what's happening?
Yes.
You see? Like if I keep that story, I can still allow myself to make money. You still make money. You just never get to break through this identity of the beat up girl, the girl who has to give away all her money. Because inside of, if you no longer operate in that identity, you'd be living as the girl who is filthy rich and makes really great decisions with her money, but allows people the dignity of their own life journey if they choose not to make decisions to make a lot of money, or if they do choose. You see what I'm trying to say? Like the truth is, your richness doesn't make other people poor. Say that back to me.
My richness does not make other people poor.
Right. And really feel that. So not only does your richness not make other people poor, but when you don't allow yourself to be rich, you don't offer people who want the solution more ways to be rich. You don't help those people either. You see what I'm trying to say? You're not making those people poor, but you're also, by limiting yourself, you're not helping model what does it look like to be a rich, beautiful woman that is grounded in honoring like the money she makes, but not from ego, and how to have a go-to playbook and of decision making on how to deal with these things so that you don't stay poor.
So what I'm doing actually here is I'm helping her go through these emotional constraints, looking for them, using the aligned intelligence method so that we can process them, let them go energetically so that she can actually embody newly her new way of being from her true self, and then be able to, in that aligned state, take action from it to create new results. If you're wanting to have that, the fastest, easiest way I can give it to you is send us a request at miahewitt.com, email it to me, and we'll send you a free infographic of exactly what it looks like to process your emotions. And for those of you who are like, yeah, but I really want more support, no problem. Reach out to us at miahewitt.com and we'll help you with our team be able to get on a call with them so they can pinpoint your biggest emotional conflicts and constraints that are costing you a fortune, so that you'll have a clear plan on how to move forward.
You see what I'm saying? Like that's what it is. Like really honoring the goddess in yourself of like, yeah, I'm going to be as filthy rich as I want. I'm going to be as filthy rich as I want, and I'm going to be so loving myself to be that, because then I'm creating the greatest difference in the world by breaking the cycle that we have to stay poor. I am going to break the generational cycle whatever it is for you. I'm saying things here because that was what I wanted to do. I was like, I am not being poor like my mother. I am not going to teach my kids to be poor. Like, whatever it is for you, whatever the new decision is that you're now valuing, that is going to be like, I am going to do this. I'm going to play big and bold, and I'm going to be this girl. I'm this girl, whatever that girl is, right? You've got to see that in a clear vision, because that's the difference I'm up to making in the world. And that is why I'm going to link massive pleasure to it. I just want you to see that, because that's what you're stacking now, massive pleasure to what you want.
By Taisha processing all of what she was struggling with emotionally when it came to money, she then got in emotional alignment with the truth of what she wanted. She got into intentional alignment with making new decisions. And she also then got into practical and strategic alignment on then how she was going to integrate this new way of being into all areas of life when it comes to money.
Okay, so what's the truth now? What are you, why are you know, who are you then? Like, just seeing that, rather than I'm not the cutout girl for this, and maybe, you know, maybe I'm not as good as I think I am, and so forth. And before I was the beat up girl, who am I now? Starting to get a picture of it before we finish these other statements. Like, who am I? To start feeling it.
So I am that girl. Like, that's who I am. I am that girl, and I am ready. I'm gonna be filthy rich because
That's right.
That girl.
Yeah. So what's that girl? If she's no longer the beat up girl, because that girl just took shit because she didn't know how to have a process on how to process her emotions and then make decisions that were in alignment for a win-win. Say that back to me.
She didn't know how to, right, the beat up girl, she didn't know how to process her emotions so that she could make decisions to create a win-win.
Right. So she didn't have to be guilted into making decisions. She could really make them from alignment only when both parties win. That she felt like, yeah, that's a win-win for me. Okay, I'm willing to do that. Yes, that's the only thing that was happening in hindsight, right? So this girl is like, I'm going to be filthy rich, but more than that, I'm going to be filthy rich that does what with decisions and pleasure?
Oh, I'm going to crush it.
Yeah, how much specifically?
That's who I am. I'm the decision girl. Like,
that's right. I'm the decision girl who gets filthy rich by how much money?
Oh, by a lot of money.
Specifically.
I'm gonna well, you're gonna ask me by when, but
that's okay. Just go by how much. Don't worry about the when, by when yet. How much? Just let it flow. Like, this is my number.
My number it's 2 million, because that's
right.
I'm feeling right now.
That's right. So 2 million, right? Like, you've got to keep saying that to yourself. I'm the $2 million girl. I'm the $2 million filthy rich girl. I'm the $2 million filthy rich girl. I am the $2 million filthy rich girl. I am the $2 million filthy rich girl. I am the filthy $2 million rich girl. Like, you have to keep saying that, not as a concept, but you're getting it into your body so that it becomes so familiar with how you feel in alignment with that then the thoughts come as in flow with that feeling. You feel that? That's where we're going. I just want you to feel that, right? So as that girl inside of that, yeah, make it so fun, so playful, like it's your go-to song. You do it every single day. You dance the crap out. You visualize it inside of the way you see it, how you're doing it, why this is so important.
How this changes everything in so many areas of life. In business, we can generate wealth without struggle. In money, we can break invisible ceilings and income barriers we never even realized were there. In communication, this allows us to speak our truth with certainty, confidence. In relationships, this allows us to create authentic relationships that are really circled around love and connection and creating win-wins.
And so then what's the lie and what's the truth about what people are going to say?
I mean, the lie is that I have to worry about that, right? That has to even be a consideration.
Why though? Go deeper to solve that. Like, why is worrying about that so out of alignment? Like, go deeper. Why was that a waste of time? Because when you worry about it and what people are going to say.
I don't know, that I don't have to worry about what people are going to say. What I want to do is more important than worrying about what people are going to say.
Right. So can you see, you can't control what other people are going to say. They're going to say whatever they're going to say, right? Like, really feel that. You can only be in command of yourself and what you say to yourself. Everybody else is off the hook. Really feel that, everybody. I am in command of myself. Everybody else is off the hook. Whatever they say is they're in command of themselves. I can't control that. And there is a quote that I really like a lot on this one. Never take criticism from someone who you wouldn't take advice from. Never. Let them say whatever they're going to say, because you would never take advice from them anyway. So let them have it. They can keep it. You're only looking for the people who want all of this. That's all we're doing. So like, really ground yourself into that truth. And so it doesn't matter if they think, oh, maybe she's going to be too smart, or maybe she's going to spend too much, or maybe she's going to do this, or maybe she's going to do that, or maybe she'll be one of these. No, I'm in command of myself. I'll be exactly in alignment with who I say I'm going to be, which is the most joyful place to be. And then when it comes to, well, just guilting people into decision, you guilting, other people guilting you and saying, oh, you should just do this, or you should do this. What's the line? What's the truth about that?
Line that I have to do what people say.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, like I can give that up. I'm not the beat up girl anymore. I'm the girl who chooses and decides what I'm gonna do. It has nothing to do with other people. Yes. See how all in alignment it starts to come. You're crushing it. You're crushing it. Now seeing all this truth, all this lie, letting it all go outside the body. Like really wait until it all releases outside of the body as you say this. What's your new intended outcome, right? We started saying it. I'm the $2 million girl. I'm the $2 million girl, but like anchor it more into what are you getting is the truth and your new values from now coming in from this way of being.
The truth is that that I am special and I can do whatever I want.
That's exactly right. And own it. I'm just going to own that. I'm going to own myself. Yes. So own that. Own the $2 million girl and that says I can do whatever I say to him. And yes, own it. Yeah. Now seeing that as a real living, feeling, breathing experience. That's an outcome. Making $2 million. Seeing what's the lie, what's the truth. What do you have to accept and now forgive?
I have to accept that I've put up with a lot of shit in the past and I don't have to do that anymore.
Oh my gosh. Hallelujah. Say it. Yes. Yes, I have to accept I put up with a lot of shit and I don't have to do that anymore. That's right, because the beat up girl's gone. We're not the beat up girl anymore. We're the $2 million girl. That's exactly right. So I'm really releasing myself. I'm freeing myself from that trap, those handcuffs that I put myself in thinking I had to just take it. I'm not putting up with it anymore. Yeah. Anything else you'd have to accept and forgive to really release this out of the body?
And I think really just forgive myself for what I didn't know when I didn't know it. Just forgive myself for not knowing any better.
Yes.
That was the truth.
Yes. This is why I want to anchor right here. What do successful people do that unsuccessful people don't? Anytime they made a bad decision, that's just a bad decision, not like right, wrong, bad, or good. But when they made a decision that was ineffective, just like you said, I didn't know any better. They just make a new decision quickly. They don't beat up on themselves anymore. They literally will not entertain another negative thought about what happened back then, because they are now moving forward. Everything is operating in alignment forward. They're not in the past anymore. They've already closed the door on releasing that energy and that emotion. Yes, anything else you'd have to accept and forgive before you choose newly going all in to create the new $2 million filthy rich girl that is going to now be, a beacon of light for anyone who wants to make money and break generational cycles. Anything else you'd have to let go of, accepting and forgiving to choose newly.
Just really the understanding that I belong here. Like I really have to just really acknowledge that this is where I belong. This is who I am. Like all that in the past is the past and it was cute, but that's it.
That's it. Like really feel that. Oh my gosh, how many people, how many of us claiming I belong here. I belong here, right? Like just like owning that. Like, yes, Taisha, that's beautiful. You freaking belong. Yes, I belong here. I'm in the right place. Yes. And so now seeing the truth that you really do belong and that it's just a release of another decision that was ineffective, putting in the new decisions, now seeing your new identity as I'm the $2 million filthy rich girl. That's who I am. Now deepening that. What new beliefs would you put in place? What new skills, what behaviors, what routines? Just give a visual of the day. We're grounding it into this is who I am and this is what my day looks like. I'm this girl who's making $2 million, right? The easy, fun way, whatever it is for you. Like, give me the vision of like that girl on a day-to-day so we ground it into practical.
I am just making the decisions that I know are going to move my business forward.
Like really feel that, like feel so connected and speaking directly to their heart, right? Yes. Can I get real with you for a second? Are you, does this sound like you? It might feel a little over the top. I don't know if this is for you, but have you ever found yourself like, it's like something's happening and it's really destructive. It's kind of like somebody just broke into your house and like, you don't know what destruction it's causing, but you know that there's destruction happening. What would you do? Would you just sit there and think like, maybe I shouldn't deal with this. Maybe I should just deal with this later. Would you say, oh, I just need more time? No. You'd act immediately, right? Like if this was happening because you know something important is at risk. Well, I want you to consider in this very moment, something is happening to you right now that's being taken away from you. It's not your wallet. It's not your car. It's your dreams. It's your life. It's your future. And you don't even realize it's happening. This thief doesn't break in through windows. It breaks your momentum. It doesn't take your wallet. It has you stop following through because you don't make decisions. Every time you hesitate, overthink, second guess yourself, I want you to consider you're being robbed. Let's praise Taisha. Thank you for being so bold, willing to be seen, be on camera, be on alignment, get your gold, go crush it in the world. I can't wait to see the difference you make in the lives of people because I know that they're going to eat this up. You being on fire, being gold, owning your, that you do belong. You totally belong. You totally belong. Hey, my pleasure, girl. My pleasure.
Now it's your turn. I would love to hear, what was your favorite takeaway out of this? Or what was your biggest aha moment? Or something that you really felt was like, wow, that was awesome. Leave it in the chat below. Give me a comment and I'd love to hear about it. So much love. Bye for now.